Think of the world around you. When you look around, do you hear one language? Do you see one peoples and one culture? No. You see a world that's made up of a diverse people, many cultures, many languages. So why don't our classrooms reflect that type of diversity? Моя історія починається на Україні. I was born and raised in Ukraine and attended kindergarten. I was about to start first grade and I was only able to go for a few days. Schools in Ukraine were set up differently. You stayed with one class for 12 years with the same teacher. We moved to America when I was 6 years old. In America, I started attending first grade again. I met new friends and was able to start learning English through the help of ESL program. I had many tutors, including friends, other Ukrainians, and even my mom, who didn't know much English. I was able to finish the ESL program within 1 year. Although I was learning English, I still learned Ukrainian, went to Ukrainian school, and respected my culture. Today, I still speak English fluently, thanks to the early and intense exposure to the American language. But I also speak Ukrainian because I was still immersed in the language and culture growing up. In my opinion, the goal of education is to prepare students for the future. Today, the world around us is globalized, so there are many different languages and diversities everywhere we look. Students need to be able to be sensitive to different cultures and be aware of the differences, and also they should be able to speak a language other than their own. My vision for early childhood education is a dual language program available to all students in all schools starting from preschool. The 3 goals of this vision is to 1, through language immersion, students will be able to be more prepared for this globalized world. 2, they will be more aware, accepting, and sensitized to different cultures. And 3, students who learn a different language starting from a very young age will be able to communicate with more people on a broader scale. In a school that's participating in a dual language program, all cultures need to be represented. So the books in the classroom should be in different languages, representing the different cultures that are present in the classroom. This is easy to do. You could even ask parents to record them reading their favorite book in their native tongue. The school should also be culturally appropriate, with flags and different cultures being represented through artwork around the school. The way teachers teach in a dual language program would be ideally to use as much of the foreign language in the early grades as possible. So either total immersion, basically students are exposed to the foreign language 100% of the time, or a mixed, so the teacher could be teaching in both Spanish and English, for example, or both Chinese and English. That way students know what she's saying in English and also are learning Chinese or Spanish at the same time. The problem with this is that there's not enough teachers who are qualified to speak and to teach the foreign language. Some IB schools have resolved this issue by inviting teachers from another country to teach. For example, a school in Cleveland Heights hired teachers from China to teach Chinese here in America. So obviously that teacher would be very qualified to speak Chinese. However, that's a big issue today, just to find enough teachers who speak the foreign language who can effectively teach it. In a dual language program, the curriculum could be any of the teachers choosing. However, language needs to be immersed into all subjects. So PE, music, art, math, reading, all need to have that foreign language included. So for example, in a school that's learning Spanish, Spanish would have to be used in math, in PE, and music, so the students are hearing it and using it in all disciplinary areas of their day.
One of the definite pluses from a dual language program, and what we try to explain to the kids, is that our job is to educate you future. When you choose to go into a career course or into college, when it's time to get that job and you are up against someone else and you have all the same qualifications, you went to a great school, you have great background training, whether it's 4-year university or a 2-year program, associate's degree, whatever. When you're going for that job, if you're able to say that you have a second language, you will, in my mind, beat out the other candidate because of the fact that you are able to relate to a whole other population of people. And that is priceless. And if you can get that from kindergarten and build that through your elementary school, continue that on through your middle school, take it in high school, and then if you move on to college, fantastic. If you have another language under your belt, that is attractive to employers.
One of the benefits of knowing 2 languages for me was being able to learn a 3rd language. I started learning French in 8th grade, and the grammatical and sentence structures rules of French were very similar to the Ukrainian rules, and that made me very quick at catching on to the language, and I was able to learn it very quickly.
The amount of positive things that come from a dual language program is countless. And again, just from an appreciation and curiosity, not to mention the learning aspect of it, but knowing that this is a global society. We're no longer in isolation. I just love that message that kids get very early on, is that it is not just about us here in Cleveland Heights. We are part of something bigger, something better. And when you can learn another language, you get an appreciation for that.
Research done by psychologists at Princeton University finds that bilinguals are better at putting themselves in other people's shoes to understand their side of a situation. This is because they can more easily block out what they already know and focus on the other viewpoint.
We are a Ukrainian-American family. I'm teaching our daughters both languages out of respect for my husband's heritage, developing in our girls self-confidence and cross-cultural awareness and a love for diversity. Also, we teach our girls Ukrainian out of a love for their grandmother and for the sake of their relationship with her, and then also for lifelong communication skills and IQ development.
Definitely financial aid, translations, being able just to help people in general, translations and stuff like that. And especially communicating with ESL students.
When she doesn't know some words, because she goes to college to learn English, and when she doesn't know some words, we would translate it to Ukrainian.
And in school, I can help some kids translate in Ukrainian, because I have some Ukrainian kids that go to my school. And I can help translate, or when I'm over at my grandparents' house, I help them translate when people come over, American or Arabic.
One of the benefits for me of knowing 2 languages has been being able to help other people. So as I was growing up, I helped my parents when they were learning English because I caught on to it so much quicker. I helped my friends when they immigrated from Ukraine. I helped teach them English. I also was able to be a tutor for immigrants because I could relate to them very easily. Language is closely linked to cognition as well. It provides tools for mental representation and for what Vygotsky termed verbal mediation, the ability to attach labels to objects and processes, which is important in concept development, generalization, and thought. So students who know more than one language are able to do this more strongly. Among students who speak other languages, there is a detectable growth in the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that helps govern memory and mastery of new materials, and so they have higher order reasoning. Overall, the bilingual brain is simply more efficient. It should not come as a surprise that this method of teaching and learning is supported by research and lots of evidence. The preschool years are an excellent time to acquire fluency in a second language. During this time, children are primed to learn their first language, and if introduced to a second language, they can learn to speak it without an accent, as native speakers would. In the preschool years, children's language and communication skills grow by leaps and bounds. These advances have significant implications across domains of development and learning, with language integral to emotion, social, and cognitive development. Moreover, language is critical for learning across the curriculum. The speed with which young children learn to understand and use language without being taught directly is one of nature's marvels and proves a strong evidence of a biological basis for language acquisition. Research from all around the world shows that bilingual and dual language programs are the key to success for all our students. If students are more sensitive to other cultures, can speak other languages, they are definitely more prone to succeed in this diverse world.